in 2012. It's probably still quite emotional to talk about, isn't it?
It is. It triggered me. I saw you tweeting about it yesterday, and I had tweeted about it, or whatever we call it on X nowadays. And I thought, gosh, Sangita might want to hear from someone who has actually been through it. And I arrived home January 2012 from work to a voicemail on my home answer phone from a police detective. She didn't say what it's about. She just said, I want to speak to Dr. Pam Spurr, and here's my number. So I had a fretful night thinking, why on earth are the police calling me? I'm law-abiding. The next day, I called back. I got another detective, and after going through my details, he said he could speak to me because that particular detective who'd phoned me was now away for a few days. And he told me the bombshell that I was one of many hacking victims of the news of the world. And there unfolded this nightmare of discovery. It took a year, and during that year, first they told me about the legal process that I could get involved in, or I could go to court. And originally I thought, I want to have my day in court when they finally get the news of the world into court. But it was so stressful that year that I decided to go with the first tranche of people, including Hugh Grant, who were settling out of court. So for that year, we picked through everything of my life. We picked through everything that they could tell me that I'm not able to share with you about the hacking. All I can share is that I was hacked and how devastating it was, because that whole year it turned out that there were so many things that they could have picked up on my mobile. When you think about my work, people leave very personal messages about how they're feeling. People I work with, I have family who regularly, when I think of I was traumatized about the fact that my youngest was born with pulmonary disease and had been in and out of hospital since age 3 weeks. And I'd often get voicemails from her saying, Mum, or her school saying, Mum, I'm on my way to hospital again, or the school saying, she's gone to hospital, you have to get to the hospital. And I just was so traumatized that what my poorly youngest, personal messages like that, I really, and also, of course, I was so paranoid about any VIP clients of mine who might have been hurt. So it really was a devastating time. And to think that someone can peek into your phone like they're peeking through a window, like a dirty voyeur peeking into someone's bedroom window, that's how you feel. You feel tainted. So it's not a fun experience.
No, I mean, I can hear your voice cracking. Just to make it clear to listeners, when you say you have to hold some things back, that's because of the non-disclosure...
Legal agreement, yeah.
Yes, there's a non-disclosure agreement.
So I can't share things like, I know how many times I was hacked. I can't share that. I know names. I can't share that. And, of course, I can't share my settlement. But I was told I am able to just talk about what it's like for people who go through this. And I have every sympathy for these phone hacking victims. I'm not a big Harry fan because I used to be a big Harry fan, but with all there's lots of things going on which this isn't a conversation about, but I still have the greatest empathy for him, and I understand his paranoia, because it does make you paranoid, and you do not want to share anything with anybody after that. So you become very guarded.
I've got to let you go in a moment, but do you... Because I think you actually sum up the feeling of quite a few people, which is some members of the public may not like the way in which he's conducted his personal affairs with his family and then gone public, but they do still respect the fact that he's used his power, wealth and money to take on some very, very powerful people in this country.
Yes, absolutely. I totally concur with that. And I think anybody who's been through this will totally understand what Harry and other people have described as just shocking levels of paranoia. You do become very guarded. You do not trust. And it took me a couple of years to kind of let people in. And, of course, there's all that subterfuge. I had to tell people without telling them what I was going through, because I could not disclose I was going through the court, the settlement process. you have to tell them things like, oh, when you call me, if you don't catch me, don't worry about leaving a long message. Just say hi and I'll call you back. Because you don't want people leaving messages because you think, is the next newspaper going to do it? So.
Understood. Pam, thank you very much indeed for coming on and sharing that story, because I know it's been very difficult for you.